How to separate the gospel music artist from the gospel music ministers. When anyone speaks, he or she communicates sounds and energy. So for anyone to speak the truth, the sound and the energy must communicate the same thing, must have the same message. Okay, so I had to change position. So bear with me. 100% of the time, men always seem to adhere to the oral voices, the sounds, and not every time that that energy seems to rhyme or transmit the same message that our voice or our oral words say. If you're familiar with body languages and facial nuances and expression, then you can tell when someone's energy opposes what they say. In other words, you can tell when someone is lying. The same analogy applies to music. The music artist could have surrendered to God, could have been inspired by God, could have been anointed by God in his initial stages in Christ. Along the line, the blessings of God multiplied, and the resources of God, wealth, and riches began to navigate towards his direction, and pride sinked in. Now, when pride sank in, the main goal, the primary goal of his living, the purpose of his living, twisted, changed, and he deviated from praising God, pleasing God, to pleasing men. This will cause him to depend solely on manpower rather than depending or being inspired by God to create or produce the music. The music that is transmitted from God is supposed to draw believers and unbelievers to God, to Christ. Any music that is produced outside of God will be the opposite. It will be inspired by another thing that is outside Christ. Some of us are already familiar with the lyrics. Find yours, we love Jesus. Now, that music fails in drawing people to Christ. In fact, it satisfies those who subconsciously desire to mix the things of this world with God. That is, those who have it in their mind and they don't think goes. Those who are lascivious, those who want to play on the positive terminal and negative terminal. If you really want to differentiate between these types of music, then you have to listen to both the lyrics and you need to know what the energy is conveying. Flow with the energy and see where that leads you to. Study those who listen to this same music and study their body languages, reaction, their overall character build up, and judge for yourself with knowledge of God that you already have, the understanding of God that you already have, and see if this is acceptable by Christ or it's just another Burna Boy Zazu music. Because the lyrics of the music can claim to be praising God, but the energy of the music can shout a mind that is doing everything possible to grow an audience for more cash. The energy always transmits the true state of the heart. Now, someone is going to be sensitive and write a comment like, "This is the modern era, grow up," and all that. My reply to you is this: it's either you are deliberately lascivious or you are unaware of this analogy of sound and energy as relating to music. However, I only speak what my Father in heaven speaks. I'm sorry if you're sensitive, but men change, people change. So do your due diligence and investigate this music. Note, investigate, course correct, and then move on. Music always opens the door to something. If it's not God, then it's another thing outside of God. And you do not want another thing outside of God, like the devil. As Proverbs 4 verse 23 says, guard your heart with all due diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.